Okay, what's up guys? Here with another review on the new deluxe Predator from Concrete Jungle. So it is Stoneheart Predator. And that box artwork looks really cool. So I was on a business trip and found this one actually up in Minnesota, which was pretty cool. So found it. Yeah, not too bad a price compared to, it was actually cheaper than what I was ordering it for. So here we go, we got the inside there with the figure. Looking really good. And then we have the figure with all its accessories. Looks like we got some blades. Looks like we got some claw fists. And it looks like mandibles. Interesting. So yeah, I'll see how that all works. That's cool. But here we go. So that's it inside the package. And I know this one actually glows too. There's lights on it, so I'm pretty excited to get this one in the package and see what we're looking at. This one's really big. So here we go. So that's the front. Here's the side, right? Deluxe Stoneheart Predator. Here is the back. And here's the bio. If you want to read it, you can pause now. Okay. Then there's the other side. Okay, so let's open it up and see what we are looking at. Okay, here is Stoneheart Predator out of the box and looking amazing. So this is cool. Okay, so there you go. You have the paint applications there. So it looks like they went with a darker green and dry brushed a lighter green over the top. It looks like they did 2 layers potentially. Possibly, maybe they didn't. Maybe it is just a lighter over a darker, which I think that actually is the case. Okay. You have the lights there, so this does come with lights. See the paint applications, right? They have the same thing, right? That dark with the, lighter green over the top. Looks like they put some maroon to kind of look like blood. Looks like they added a little bit of lighter blend down there at the bottom of the hips. Also looks like they put some lines throughout with black. A nice silver color there. Yep, you can see they did a couple different variations. So that green color with the lighter green with an even lighter yellowish green over the top. And there are the Predator feet, looking good. Comes with claws that you can put on it to make it look really menacing. Comes with open hands. Also does come with closed hands, so fists. And it does come with an extra set of mandibles, which I believe you just take it off there. So that is it from the front. So this is a huge figure, by the way. Here we go from the side. So we have the side here. So you tell mandibles are cut off, which is kind of cool. Or not mandibles. I don't remember what that's called. Tendrils? I'm not sure. The Predator hair. Okay, there's the side, right? Used a lighter silver there too. Give some variation. Here we go, here's the back. All right, so these both light up back here. Look at that, such cool detail. Got cool pipes running throughout. Nice little loincloth there, which looks really nice. Here's the other side. There we go. Overall, this thing is looking phenomenal. So, okay, so what we'll do, let me trade out the mandibles real quick. Okay, and there you go. So I traded out the mandibles. Cool thing is this is what they look like after. And all you do is you just pull them out and then you put those in place. Then you can just exchange that way, which I think is actually a pretty good idea. So you have that. So just to kind of break down real quick, because I was thinking about doing this in Articulation, but I think I'll do it now. So what you'll do, make sure he stands, he's about to fall over there. So here we go. So real quick. So you have the lights at the top, and those are located right here. So you have to take off the skull. And there are lights, and there's a plastic piece in there when you start that you have to pull out. So be careful, because when I pulled it out, all the batteries popped out. I had to put them back in, so be cautious. And there is the button that you'd flip on and flip off to do that. So there you go. And then that is just tied to the head. So that only lights up the head. So And I didn't see any instructions. I don't know if yours came with instructions. Mine did not, so I had to figure this out. So, and then on the back, right, you still have the lights on in the back. It took me a while to figure it out. But as I was looking, right, I noticed there's a crease there on that engine, and it's part of the sculpt on this side. So I thought, okay, so that means this part has to come off. And sure enough, it does. You just have to pull it off. Same thing, be careful with the batteries. And then you have the on-off switch right there. Pretty simple. So I thought I'd show you all that because, yeah, I didn't see any instructions in mine, and it took me a second to find the one on the back, but the one on the front makes sense. So that's how it lights up. So very cool. Okay, now let's get into articulation. So here we go. Here is the articulation on the new Stoneheart Predator. So as you look here, so it moves up pretty far, looks down a little bit. You do have a side to side, and you do have a little bit of a pivot, so you can look side to side. Pretty cool. Obviously this piece comes off. The mandibles come off as well, because you can trade those out. You have a swivel here, hip joint, and you can definitely go side to side with it. Not a whole lot, so the pipes do kind of hinder that a lot. So you can force it and you can try to do it, but I'm not going to for these purposes. So it looks like you should be able to have a good, you should be able to have a good ab crunch back and forward. But like I said, I'm not going to force it with all those pipes because I don't really want to break those. I assume they plug in pretty easy, but I'm not 100% sure. So obviously you can trade at the hips as well. You have the regular leg articulation, so legs can go up decently far, and they click into place, which I think is good because this is a bigger figure, so it needs it. You have, let's see, you have double jointed knees, so you can get them into a nice running pose. You also have it's also a swivel there at the knee, which I think is pretty cool, so you can go side to side. You have ankle pivot, and forward and backward articulation on the feet. So this one has the same body, so these are the same body as they did on the Assassin Predator in the Predator movie, but they did change the feet, which I'm grateful for, because the other feet, I mean, they were movie accurate, but it's very hard to make them stand. So, and I'll do a comparison of those when I do the size comparison. But you also have wrist articulation, and you can trade them out for the fists. You do have rotation here, as well as here at the bicep, but also here at the gauntlet. And it's a double jointed arm or elbow, so you can get them into some pretty cool poses. So for our, for a big figure, it's highly articulated, so looking really good. And just remember here, this also comes off. This is where your second light pack is. So very cool. Okay, let's get into size comparison. Okay, so here is Stoneheart next to the other Concrete Jungle, Scarface. So you can look, there's quite a bit of size difference there, right? Obviously they're supposed to be, because this is even a pretty big figure. This is honestly one of my favorites, so it's pretty cool to be able to have both. Because I don't know, I wonder if they're going to reissue that one or not, since they, have another Concrete Jungle one. But there's a size comparison there, so you can tell quite a bit taller. Now let's try the Assassin Predator. Okay, here's Stoneheart next to the Assassin Predator. And you can see they stand about the exact same height, actually. And I think I might have misspoke. So some of the stuff's the same, but some of it is not. So when I'm looking here, it looks like the chest is different, of course, but they did have to do different molding for this. But yeah, they made that a little bulkier than the Assassin. It looks like the arms are, I think the arms might be slightly different too. Yeah, a little bit less spiky on the other one. So the legs though, yeah, it looks like the legs might actually be the same though. So the legs looks like they just did that molding there. So actually it's quite a bit different. So right when I first saw it, I thought they copied a lot of it. I mean, obviously it makes sense to save some money and just use some of the molds that you already have, but looks like they did make a few unique molds for it, quite a few. So it looks like I thought the arms I thought were pretty similar, but they're actually a little bit different. The upper part is a little bit different. It looks like the bottom torso might be the same, and the legs, and that's about it that they share. So very cool. So very stoked. So let's go to final thoughts. Okay, so final thoughts on the new deluxe Neca Stoneheart Predator figure. I think it's amazing. So when they first announced this, I remember being really excited about it because one, I mean, it's a huge Predator figure. I'm a big fan of the Predator line. That might be my favorite thing that I collect. I'm just a big fan of the character concept, some of the lore. It's just a really cool thing that I'm really into. So anytime they announce a Predator, I'm pretty stoked about it. So I'm in the middle of collecting all the Lost Tribes. So whenever those come out, I'll review those for sure as well. But yeah, this one is exceptional. And after I got it in person, so good, so good. So the lights are great. They work well. The paint detail is amazing. The articulation is great for a big figure. And yeah, it's massive, so it looks really cool. So I highly recommend this one. It is a little expensive, so I did get mine from a comic shop for $59.99, so about 60 bucks. So I can understand if that's too high a price point. However, for the paint application you get, the articulation, the sculpt, the details, the lights, everything, I think it's a pretty good buy. So if you're into Predator, I say this is a must buy. If it's not, and you don't want to pay it, I understand. You can totally, you can totally pass on this one. So very cool. So like I said, highly recommend. I'm curious to see what I choose this year for character or figures of the year, because I think this one could potentially be up there in the running. So pretty excited about that. So yeah, so definitely check out some other reviews. I know I just reviewed the Marvel Select Loki reissue figure from Marvel Select, so definitely check that out. As well as I think the last Predator one I did was the Warrior, the new NECA Ultimate Warrior Predator. So when I get the which one's that called? The Shaman Predator. That one will be the next Predator that I review. So yeah, so feel free to like and subscribe and continue to check out the videos. So more to come, and yeah, thank you all so much.